Mirage's elimination. Drag Race episode 4. This episode, it was too much, honestly. I left sad. I really did leave sad. I got IHOP breakfast, which I have not had in a really long time. Also, we're in a new setting, as y'all can see. I did the waffle, which I feel like I want this waffle to be a little bit more crispy. I don't know. I miss the old setting. I like the natural light. I'm sitting here in front of a ring light. I miss the next video will not be down here. Trust. I had to do what I had to do. Oh, why is my nose running? Like a 5-year-old. Why do I feel like instead of pouring it, I want to like dunk? No, I'm gonna pour. Dunking just sounded really high maintenance there for a second. And I gotta be able to focus because this episode, too much. Also, I ordered scrambled eggs with cheese, hash browns crispy, and turkey bacon. This looks like the brand of turkey bacon that I don't like. It's all right. I don't know. I'm gonna buy yours waffle. Yeah, that's the brand I don't like. This would be so much better if it were crispier. Also, that one little syrup is doing absolutely nothing. This is why I brought syrup down here with me, because I knew I would need it. But watch how thick it is when it comes out. Like, this is like syrup. This bite is so perfect. A water after you have a waffle, because a waffle is like thick, like it's too much. IHOP makes their eggs so fluffy. I'm like, what's the secret? Truly. So fluffy. And then with the cheese, stop. Okay, the episode started. They're all sitting down talking. They're congratulating Nymphy on her win. They're talking to Q. They're like, Q, how do you feel? Da, da, da. She's like, oh, I feel like I should have won, blah, blah, blah. If she's not careful, they're gonna edit her the same way they did Jan and Lucy LaDuca. And that's never a good look. I saw people talking about this online. They were like, she gonna get the Jan edit. I'm like, no. I understand they're having a conversation about like, how do you feel? And if a queen feels like she should have won, she's gonna be like, oh, I feel like I should have won. But sometimes it's the way that you say it. Like when she was like, I just feel like I used all unconventional materials and da, da, da. Okay, girl, but Nymphy had the best look. Like Nymphy just had the best look. Saying too much about why you should have won, it just never goes well in the edit. It never goes well in the edit. But you know what? I feel like you can't be so concerned about the edit or else it will make this show like boring. You can tell queens in the past who have been thinking about the edit on the show and it's just not natural anymore. I love those eggs so much. But I will say the difference between Q and Jan was safe a lot and Q has been in the top a lot. I can't stop eating the eggs. Whoa, this is like so good. I know this is a simple breakfast, but it's the eggs setting it off. Amanda and Plain finally had words about what happened in Untucked last week. Amanda has the quick wit and humor that Plain lacks, that you need to read and be shady. Like Amanda comes with it quick. And it's so funny because Plain is the one coming after everybody and she's the one specifically coming after Amanda right now. But Amanda is the one that's quick and Plain is not quick. And it's like, girl, that's why you're not funny. That's why it's just coming across mean. This is literally how the conversation went. Plain starts apologizing. She's like,
girl, like, you know, I'm sorry for what I said. You know, the adrenaline was running, the alcohol.
Oh, so she blames on the edit and the alcohol.
I'm gonna take responsibility. You know, I gave my opinion where it wasn't needed.
Or even relevant to the conversation.
Which, by the way she says conversation, I live for that.
I take full responsibility, you know. I hope we can eventually develop that relationship where I can like read you in a funny way.
Well, I hope you stay around long enough to do so.
You're coming after her, but she's the quick one. Why would you come after somebody who's quick? Then the next day when they're in the workroom before Rue comes in, Plain is like, you know, I'm just ready to like shine as the star that I am. I'm ready to be the big star that I am. Amanda, well, stars are full of gas, baby. Gagging her left and right. I don't even understand why she's trying to like still come for her. And I love that she apologized and everything, but it looks like next episode, she's like back to saying shady stuff. It's like, what do you have against her? Literally leave her alone. It could be the edit. It could be the edit, but I don't know about all that. This has to be the best eggs I've had from IHOP. I already knew that I love their eggs, but this is the best one. They find out they're doing RDR live. They sit down and choose the roles. Choosing the roles is never a good situation. Somebody's always gonna leave mad. Y'all remember last season, both groups wanted metal and the only thing that left was country and metal. And they were not playing. And honestly, Mistresses and Lux's group was hilarious. People thought they were being mean. I thought it was funny because Lux was literally like, well, we're doing metal and you're gonna have to make country fierce. Like, somebody always gonna be mad. So it comes to Saphira and Mirage. They both want host. The way, and this is why I just have so much respect for Saphira because she is like not playing around. These little games, she's not doing it. They're like, okay, y'all can play rock, paper, scissors. Y'all can flip a coin. Saphira said, I'm doing Lowenstein. Saphira was not going back and forth. She wasn't playing games. She wasn't doing anything. She said, I'm doing Lowenstein. I'm like, I love her. I just live for that. She knows what she can do. In her head, she's like, I can make anything fierce. Y'all want to play games? I said I wanted to do this. How about I don't play the games and I just get up off it right now and do what I'm gonna do? I don't know why I lived for that because usually it becomes a thing. It's like, oh, now we're drawing it out. Now it's a long thing. We're sitting here going back and forth. who's gonna get the role, flip a coin, rock, paper, scissors, audition for the role. Like, it gets to be too much. She's like, yeah, I'm not doing all that for y'all. Mirage immediately was like, okay, then like, I guess I'm host. And people were like, girl, what do you mean you guess? Like, didn't you want to be host? I understand her though. Like, I think that's why a lot of people like Mirage. What she's giving is like who she is. She's not trying to give us like a dressed up version of her on camera. But I understood her in that moment because it's like, you wanted it so bad and then they gave it up and then you're like, okay, I wanted this part so badly, but am I even gonna like really eat it up? Is it gonna be good? Like, I wanted this so bad, like it better be fierce. I felt her insecurity in that moment. I felt bad for her. I just be feeling bad for her. There's like a look on her face when she's nervous that makes me feel so bad. And everybody's rehearsing and she's sitting by herself on the ottoman just looking around looking so nervous. I felt so bad for her. They're all getting ready, talking or whatever. When they started talking about DACA, I love representation on that show. There's a bunch of different queens from a bunch of different walks of life. So with each season, we get representation for something. And I'll always just be ready to cry. Like the minute Tsunami Muse was talking about like how when she got the call from this show, she got emotional because eyes welling up. This is so annoying about me. But she felt like she was finally gonna be able to like accomplish some of her dreams. I'm like, girl, I be too ready to cry. It's just because, I don't know, like, I think maybe it's DACA in general. Like the DACA kids, like they just make me emotional. I don't know. But it makes me so happy that they like showed that moment on the show because there's a lot that they can edit out. There's a lot they can edit out. But I'm glad they kept that in. Did I wipe off my concealer? No, I've been doing concealer under my under eye only just recently. Only just recently. Because I found a really good one that I love and it matches my skin tone perfectly. Also, I've learned recently that I have a gift for shade matching. I'm not kidding. When I was finding the concealer, it was like a bunch of them in front of me. I literally picked one up and said, this is it. I put it next to my face. I said, I know it's perfect. The minute I put it on, blends in like a second skin. Same with my mom. She was looking at all the concealers. I said, put this one on. Perfect match. Maybe it's because I'm a Virgo. Then it was time for RDR Live. Let me just say, there were some queens who did good, but seeing the RDR Live challenge made me wonder how Snatch Game is about to go. Because it wasn't like all the girls did bad, but some people were just kind of like flatlined. And I'm like, in past seasons, I feel like when they had an acting challenge, yes, there were people who were awful, but like the personalities and the acting skills came out and they were so good. Too many of the performances in RDR Live fell flat for me, and that was like really disappointing. I'm really super excited for Snatch Game. I don't know what to expect in Snatch Game this year. I will say though, I was kind of proud of my Iman LePage. I was proud of her because, like I said, she's been giving very timid. You could tell she was trying to beat the timid allegations. Like it wasn't like amazing. It wasn't an amazing performance, but she gave way more than I thought she was gonna give. When she, at the end, when she got up on the thing and she was like, ooh, trade. That made me laugh. I'm like, I never expected her to make me laugh because she's like very, very quiet. So I was actually proud of her for that. Now the judges were right in their critiques when they were like, it kind of like was one note the whole time, like she stayed at one level, but they're really big on that. If somebody is doing any kind of acting challenge, they always stress like they need dynamics. You can't be up here the whole time.
You can't be down here the whole time.
Like it needs to be a dynamic performance because that's how people are in real life. I might be the only person that's up here all the time, but I'm also not, you know what I mean? So it's like you need dynamics in the performance, but the fact that she gave the energy that she did at least was like a little bit interesting. Like when she started, I was like, oh, okay. Also, Plain ate up her role. This was a good week for Plain in general, but she gave like the perfect like dumb dead behind the eyes look. It's like micro movements that can make the character good. And I forgot what the girl name is, but the guest judge who played Buffy the Vampire Slayer, she was like, you're underselling it and that's really good in comedy. And I definitely feel like that was it because she's like doing these like tiny little movements. So the character seemed more natural. I thought she did really good. I don't like her attitude, but one thing about me, I'm not a hater. Like if you're not my favorite, but you turn it, I'm not gonna say that you didn't turn it. Like she definitely turned it. I thought she did great. Also, her runway was gorge as Cher. And I said this in my very first video. She gives really good body and her body looked great in that dress. I just wish the hair in the front was longer because it was a long wig. Like when you look in the back, it was a long wig. When you look at her from the front, it looks like it stops right here because it's a little bit scarce. It's a little bit scant in the front. And I feel like I need a little bit more. Because when I think about Cher, I think of just like, you know what I mean? Like, but I will say this week was the first time I saw her as a competitor. Personally, I couldn't understand what all like the hype was about. A lot of people were hyped up on her from the beginning. I thought she was mediocre, honestly. Like, it was very much, I'm not gagging. Like, I thought she was okay. I didn't think she was bad. Burger Finger was a kind of like a fun, campy thing. Cool. But then her runway that week wasn't that good. And I feel like the runway the next week wasn't that good. Like, I thought she was very middle of the road. I feel like to me, in this episode, I'm like, okay, this makes her look like more of a competitor than she has been. in the past couple weeks. And then, oh my gosh, Mama Ru in this performance of this song, girl. She is up here. First of all, her body looks great, okay? I think she's 63. Let me look up how old is Ru. How old is Ru? 63. She's 63. But you know what's funny though? That song, I actually like that song. I've been singing, oh my gosh, my nose. I've been singing that song since I watched the episode. I don't know what it is, but you know what? She has the ability to come out with like entertaining and catchy music. She was up there barely moving a muscle, y'all. Doing a little cute little step touch. But I will say, I applaud her. She's been doing drag forever. She was in a high heel. She was not in no little baby kitten heel. That was a high heel. I'm like, if she wants to be up there and move stiff in a high heel, I give it to her. She's been moving in heels for longer than I've been alive, I think. Also, for Dawn, Amanda, and Q's scene, they wanted to work together so bad, but I feel like Dawn and Amanda kind of fell flat. Q as the brick was funny. She came out like very theatrical, like, oh, does it matter? I feel like she kind of kept the scene alive, but Dawn and Amanda kind of were like, it was a little boring, which is shocking because neither of those girls are boring at all. Like, they're very fun. And all of Dawn's confessionals, I think she's so funny and fun. And Amanda's confessional, they are always funny and fun to me. So like in their role, I just like expected more. This is why I was like, I'm concerned about Snatch Game, because I'm like, this is the first time we're seeing y'all play a character, and it could be because they don't relate to those characters. In Snatch Game, you're playing characters that like you know and love and have chosen for the most part, child. Sometimes people, I don't know why they make decisions they do in Snatch Game. I'm like, y'all wanted to be news anchor together so bad, but did not turn it out. Nymphia, Plasma, Saphira. Nymphia held her own between two vocalists. Plasma can sing, Saphira can sing. And I'm hearing Nymphia sing and I'm like, girl, this isn't bad. Also, she, even like her acting skills, like she gave like very like zany, kooky, fun, like facial expressions. I'm like, okay, Nymphia. I liked seeing her in like an acting setting because I'm thinking of her as like a fashion queen. But I guess she's giving us well-rounded. Plasma ate up Barbara. And from the minute she started, I said, this is her week. If she does good on the runway, this is easily her week. All her mannerisms, like you're watching her and you're like, this is good. When she was doing the microphone part, when she was like, good. I said, this was perfect. And she didn't even want the role. I'm like, girl, this was the best thing for you. You're lucky that they wanted to be news anchor together so bad because this is what got you your win. But I really enjoyed seeing her rise to the top this week, especially because I am not loving the Plasma is annoying rhetoric that I'm seeing online. I hate it, actually. It really gets on my nerves every time I see it. Now my water is gone, no. I'll see a post about Plasma and then the comments will be like, Plasma's so annoying, or I can't stand Plasma. Why? What has she done? Be talkative? I just feel like that's not enough to like, where you can't stand Plasma. And it's like, where is this coming from? Honestly, it seems like one of those things that somebody said and everybody started bandwagoning. And I'm like, y'all have no reason. I don't know. It could just be because like she talks a lot and she talks very fast, but so do I. I talk a lot and I talk really fast. That makes her annoying. That makes y'all can't stand her. Maybe I'm taking it personal because I talk a lot and I talk fast. No, but sometimes I don't talk at all. I don't know. I just feel like it's not enough reason to like, to where I'm seeing so much. Like I'm seeing so much Plasma slander. Like it's annoying. When Plain first came for Amanda and Untucked, I'm seeing so many people in the comments talking about Plasma interrupted. Why would Plasma interrupt? Maybe because Plain was being mean to one of the other queens and Plasma's like, hold up, before you start being mean, you need to check yourself real quick. Like, y'all thought she was annoying for that? That's so weird. Why are you not more annoyed with Plain for coming after somebody in the first place? Like, I'm seeing all this Plain is iconic and I'm seeing all this Plasma is annoying. Where are our priorities? It's like, Plain isn't even like a funny mean. It's just mean. And Plasma is just talkative. And then her runway was gorgeous. That dress fit to a T. The waist was cinched. Like after I saw that, I said, this really is her week. She rose to the occasion. Also, I just want to say, I love a Cher category. When it comes to fashion, Cher and Bob Mackie are a masterclass. They are such a good duo. They go together real bad. Like everything Bob Mackie did for Cher is a hit. When you look up Cher's past look, Cher has probably turned some of my favorite looks ever. Just ever. Moment we've all been waiting for to talk about, Mirage's elimination. This stressed me out so bad. I hated this. This is probably one of the saddest eliminations I think I've probably seen on the show. If it's not the number one, because sometimes you can't think of everything at once. If it's not the number one elimination that's the saddest, it's definitely like top 5, top 3, maybe top 2. I hated seeing her go home, especially with like her being a fan favorite. It just felt so premature. With that being said, and let me emphasize once again before I say this so that nobody comes for me, I love Mirage and did not want her to leave. I wanted her to at least be top 6. Like, however, we really have to separate our feelings from like what's actually going on and like the rules and the nature of this competition, even if it's one of our favorites. I feel like this was a perfect example of when you don't deliver one week, it literally could mean you going home. Like, there are so many times where I'm watching the show and the queens who are doing the best sometimes are like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous, da, da, da. And I'm like, why are they nervous for? Like, they've literally been doing so good in the competition. But it makes sense because just slipping one week will literally send you home. Mirage, unfortunately, didn't deliver this week. And that can mean going home, even if you're stronger than some of the other queens. It matters about what you did that week because that's what gives you your rankings top or bottom for that week. I also want to say, I don't like the hate for Maya that I'm seeing online because so many people are like, Maya should have been the bottom. Maya should have got sent home, da 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 da. But if we're being honest, Maya that week in the challenge just did a hair better than Mirage. And that's how they have to look at it. They have to look at every single detail. Mirage, when she started hosting, it wasn't bad, but she just kind of like flatlined. The actress that played Buffy the Vampire Slayer, she said it perfectly. Like, she was kind of like revealing the joke before she even got there. She was like tripping up over her words. She was kind of like moving and fidgeting a lot. Like, it wasn't horrible, but I don't think it was a good performance. And it just was kind of flat the whole way through, which makes me sad because I love, like, literally I remember watching her and being like, Mirage, no, like, no, I want her to do well, but I don't think she did well. But when we think about Maya's performance, yes, she did stay at a high level at the whole time, but she took a big swing. She really went for it energy-wise. She also was funny at the end. Remember that part when she was like, trade? She like made me laugh. I think her performance was just a little bit better than Mirage's was. Mirage's performance kind of gave like a little bit nervous, a little bit fidgety, sometimes doing a little bit good, but not really being comfortable on stage the way you have to be when you're being a host. I see why Maya wasn't put in the bottom 2. I can understand that. And I could see why Geneva was the second person in the bottom 2. Because Geneva did bad. Oh my gosh, I thought Geneva's performance was so bad. And I like Geneva, but I thought her performance was bad, y'all. Now, when it comes down to the lip sync, if Mirage just simply knew the words, she would have stayed. She simply would have been saved. There would have been no question about it. And I was seeing, like, I was reading a comment section, one that I watch the episodes, I watch Untucked, and then I go on social media to see what everybody's saying. Because I be wanting to know, like, what are y'all thinking about this? I'm in one comment section and this girl is going so hard behind Mirage, which I get because I love Mirage, but it wasn't making any sense. She's like, well, she ate Geneva up in the lip sync, like she was dancing and da-da-da. And people were telling her like, but it's a lip sync though, you have to know the words. And I completely agree. Mirage was dancing the house down. Like, when it comes to dancing, she ate Geneva up, but you have to know the words. And I could tell she didn't know the words. At first, I thought she might have, but you know how when the queens are doing a lip sync battle and they start to like kind of turn away from the camera and put their hands up and do things like this, and they're walking to the back of the stage and they turn their whole body around and they're dancing and do it. I'm looking at her mouth, it's not correlating. I'm like, oh no. She turned it in every other way, but this is a lip sync, not a dance off. Geneva actually knew the words to the song, and not only that, is like performing them to the audience. Like, she's like, dark lady, like she knows all the words and is performing it straight to the judges. Also, one thing we know about the judges, they hate when a queen does not know the words to a lip sync. It's almost an automatic sachet. Like, when I see a queen doesn't know the words, I'm like, girl, you're about to sachet away. They hate that. And during it, you're seeing confusion on their faces. Ross Matthews is like, huh? Afterwards, you heard Michelle Visage say, not a single word. Also, is everybody forgetting the whole Valentina, I'd like to keep it on, please moment? They were so mad about that, about her keeping the mask on and then taking it off and she doesn't know a lick of word. And Valentina was considered like one of the front runners, I feel, in her season. They're not just gonna save you because you're a fan favorite, unfortunately. In her challenge, she did not do well. Then in the lip sync, does not know the words. How does that correlate to her staying in the competition? As much as I would love in a perfect world for them to just say, oh Mirage, we love you and the people love you too, let's keep you here. Think about how crazy and unfair that would look. The competition isn't 100% completely fair. I know that there are probably some decisions made by like production or what's gonna do good for ratings, or like they kind of know, I think when the queens walk in, I think they kind of know who's gonna be the front runner and who's gonna win to a certain degree, which is why they edit it a certain way. However, it can't go too far left where they would keep somebody who literally knew none of the words to the lip sync versus somebody who knew every single word and performed it. But I do think if they would have kept Mirage, that would have looked extremely unfair. Or it almost seems like the rules of the show are pointless. Like, lip sync for your life, and one person didn't lip sync and we kept them. I don't think that would have gone over well. For me personally, personally, I definitely wanted to see more from Mirage in this competition. I feel like I want to see more from Mirage than I want to see from some of the queens who are still there. Like, there are some queens who are there that I would rather see what Mirage has to do than what they're going to do. However, of course she got sent home. Like, I'm seeing people in the comments on RuPaul's Drag Race Instagram page talking about, y'all sent Mirage home. I'm not watching because y'all sent Mirage home. Y'all sent Mirage home. Mirage kind of sent herself home. As much as I hate to say it, she kind of sent herself home. I felt bad for her though. My soft side just felt really bad for her because she was in Untucked so nervous. Like, she was talking to Dawn Plasma, I think. I forgot which one she was talking to, but she was like, I don't know the words. I don't know the words. And the minute I heard her saying that, I'm like, girl, like, she knew. I see why it happened. It made me sick and upset because I wanted her to stay, but logically, I can see why it happened. But I'm honestly so sad because I feel like she would have really ate in the next episode because they're doing like a girl group challenge where I think they lip sync and dance. They've done like challenges like this before. And Mirage would have absolutely ate it up. I'm actually so upset. I'm actually so upset that I don't get to see her in that. That makes me so mad. Like, she would have done so good. Her in a mandatory meeting is who I would be ready to see. Also, speaking of which, a mandatory meeting is gonna eat that challenge up. If she doesn't, I didn't say any of this. If she doesn't, pretend you didn't hear me say this. If you heard me say this, no, you didn't. But I feel like she's really gonna eat. The My Kitty performance showed that she can really dance and perform. Even though everybody paid her dust when they went to Untucked and they were talking about who did good, nobody talked about the positive critique she got for her performance. But she can perform. I cannot wait to see her in that girl group challenge. Can't wait. But I feel like I'm in mourning for Mirage's absence on the show. I love her. And then when she broke down crying, it just made me so sad. I'm like, in my head, even though I understood like why she got sent home, in my head, I'm like, please say something, like, please keep her, like, please do. Like, I want this to be one of those seasons where they bring a queen back. If they do this, if this season they bring a queen back, I feel like it should be Mirage. Like, bring her back. I want her there so badly. But anyways, I feel like I was rambling this video, y'all. I don't know. Let me tell you something. I've been sleep deprived, okay? Coming back from that trip, I was basically out every single day and then editing into the night. So I just was like up for hours. Like, I was not sleeping a single lick. And then on the way back from my trip, the day I was supposed to leave, my flight gets delayed to where I wouldn't get home the next morning. I had to drive 3.5 hours from North Dakota to Minneapolis airport. So if this video comes off rambly, it's because I was trying to take the best notes that I could, okay? I had not been sleeping. My North Dakota vlog was supposed to be posted this Saturday, but y'all, it was a lot going on this week, so it's probably gonna be posted next Saturday. But as usual, tune in every single Friday. The Drag Race series is gonna continue. Like, subscribe, share, turn on my post notifications so you can know when I post. And I will see you guys next Friday.